कल आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। कल आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग कार्यक्रम का सीधा प्रसारण V4 न्यूज, ग्लोबल टीवी, V4 स्ट्रीम, न्यूज गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज एवं ऑर्गन डोनेशन इंडिया फाउंडेशन एवं ज्ञान द्वारा किया जा रहा है। एंड इस कार्यक्रम में rather I will speak in English because today our guest is from the South India, that from Tamil Nadu. So in this program we used to call we used to highlight the achievements of those who have achieved during their life journey. And today we are proud to say that we are going to honor and we are going to introduce you a very, very special guest, and he is Dr. C.A. Gopalan. Dr. C.A. Gopalan, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे कार्यक्रम कल आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में. You are today we are very happy to invite you on our show, and you are already on our show. Now I would like to introduce you. CA Dr. V. Gopalan is BCom, FCA, ACMA, ACS, PhD. He is the promoter director of Janhar Management Consultancy. He is the proprietor of Gopalan and Associates Chartered Accountants at Chennai. He is having professional experience of 40 plus years. He has done his doctorate PhD based on research in mergers and acquisitions from University of Madras. He was the vice president of ICICI Limited, Southern Region. He was the director of finance and administration of Congen's Technology, CTS, from 1997 to 1999. He handled hundreds of large project financing, appraisals, and corporate restructuring proposals. He was as a nominee director representing all India financial institutions and independent director, chairman and member of committees and boards of listed companies for over 3 decades. He was providing management consultancy and advisory on corporate structuring, due diligence, business valuation, business process, re-engineering, venture capital and private equity funding, tax, company law and regulatory compliances. He was adjunct faculty at IIM Bangalore and visiting professor to IIM Kozhikode, IIT Madras, KREA University, IFMR, Goa Institute of Management, ICAI, amongst few others. He was a member of Board of Studies in Commerce in Madras University and contributed in syllabus changes to align with the current industry expectations. He was a member of the panel constituted by IGNOU to suggest changes in the distance education system being followed in India. He was also the member of Board of Studies in few other universities. He was member of Internal Audit and Assurance Standards Board, IAASB, of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, ICAI, for 2020-21 in various such committees of Institute of CA, Institute of CMA, and Institute of Company Secretaries of India in the past years. He is the winner of Man of Excellence 2021 award from Indian Achievers Forum. He regularly contributes articles and opinions to business and professional journals on matters pertaining to finance, taxation, regulatory, economics, etc. He traveled widely world over on many professional assignments. Welcome, Dr. C.A. Gopalan on our show. कल आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग. CA Dr. Gopalan, you are quite famous not only in Tamil Nadu or in India, abroad also, because of your so much length work in the field of as a chartered accountant, as a company secretary, as well as an accounts person, and being the director, even the chairman of many companies. But there is one thing which people are not knowing about you, and that is your childhood, your primary education, and where you were born. And this program, Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goyal ke Sang, we used to go in the past we used to check, and we want you to share your life story, how you have reached on top from where you have started from the childhood. So my question to you is, CA Dr. Gopalan, where you were born, where you have spent your childhood, and where were your primary and higher education?
Thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal. At the outset, I thank you for providing me this opportunity to talk about my childhood days and the pleasant memories and all good memories. Also, I at this moment thank Mrs. Sridevi Goyal, a renowned, reputed IPS officer who introduced me to Mr. Lal Goyal for this program. With respect to my, and thank you for nice introduction. With respect to my childhood days, I was born in a place called Kanchipuram, and I was born on 14th July 1957. In another 2 weeks, I am completing 64 years. So I started my schooling in a place near Kanchipuram, a place called Akur. My father, by name Dusi Vardacharya, place near Kanchipuram. Dusi is our native. And Mr. Vardachari, my father, he was such a dedicated school teacher who was the winner of National Best Teacher Award. He spent his entire life towards the cause of education. So he will go, he will be as a government school teacher, he will be asked to take charge of a village as a headmaster, and we will move along with him. He will go door to door, enroll students, poor students, irrespective of caste, creed, whatever. He will pay fees for them. He will buy books for them. He will buy tiffin box. And my mother, Mrs. Ranganayaki, used to cook food for them from home. Even those days, they started their midday meal scheme in a way. And once he enrolls people, some decent strength in that school, he will be transferred to some other village. So I started my schooling in different. I started in a village called Akur and moved on to different villages for my school studies. And there was in my Akur, where I started my schooling, there was no transport, there was no electricity, there was no primary healthcare, nothing of that sort. We lived literally with the snakes all around. But because of the compulsions of my father's employment, and he was such a dedicated person, in the night, my schools were sort of makeshift arrangement. It used to be cowshed in the night, and the morning, the cow dungs will be cleared, and in a wooden plank, will be asked to be seated. Even if we stretch our leg a little bit, it will be in the midst of the cow dung remains only. So, but it's a pleasant memory only for me. Actually, that is what really shaped me. Those challenges were there. And then in the evenings, actually, I studied under a street light. At around 6:30, 7 o'clock, one elderly person will come and light the street lamp, which will be about 6 feet above our, and I used to sit below the street light and study there for 2-3 hours. For entire my schooling days, it was like that. And after and so many places.
Excuse me, CA Dr. Gopalan, that the street light which you are mentioning was not of the electric light.
No electric light, no electricity at all for many years in my during. I'm not all the days, but I can see how the village. I can able to understand that there was no electricity, even in the house, no electricity. We can see snakes moving around. So that's a big story by itself. So how we survived, how we came out, that's a different part. But all that really shaped my life, how those sort of challenges. And then we moved to another place called Ranipet, and then we moved to another place called our own place, Kanchipuram. Like that, different places we moved along with our father. Then finally, we moved to a place called Vaniyambadi for my college studies. And that's really, again, a wonderful place. Now I recall fondly because that Vaniyambadi is the place where I started. Those days, that +2 used to be called as pre-university. So my pre-university and my BCom degree in that Vaniyambadi Islamia College, where I studied, we lived in a house along with one of the professor's house. Actually, it was owned by Professor Y, Mr. Y Krishnamurthy. and Mrs. Janaki Krishnamurthy. I fondly recall their names because they shaped my life to a major extent. The discipline, the way they were themselves, and then the affection they have showered on me. In Wanimabadi, in the college, in my PUC, the first year of my college itself, I won my state level first prize in Tamil essay writing competition. That's because the Professor Abdul Rahman, one of the leading poets of Tamil Nadu, he was the professor there, head of the department, along with one other professor called Professor Kader. They encouraged me to show a lot of interest in Tamil literature. So I won a lot of state level prizes. That didn't stop there. My professor of English, Professor B.V. Sundaram, Dr. B.V. Sundaram, he said, why only Tamil? Why don't you join English Association? He made me the secretary of debating society. And the first year of my BCom, I won state level first prize in my English debate competition. So there was some.
I just want to stop you here. You said that you are doing very good in Tamil, even in English literature, and your father being in the teaching line. So what made you to decide to come in the commerce side, and you have joined the accounts?
That's a very good question, sir. Actually, the PU, when I did that, immediately after PU, for my engineering, I applied for engineering. My interest was engineering. My father was also interested in engineering. We applied for engineering. My good luck, or maybe I can now say it is only my good luck. Before even my engineering admission was announced, this college, in the first year itself in my PU, because I won a lot of state level prizes, the principal of the college, one Professor Mirza Abdul Majid, he offered me BCom seat. In fact, those days BCom seat in a college like Wanimabadi Islamia College was not all that easy. So he offered me BCom. He asked me to study BCom there. And my professor for BCom, Professor K.S. Ramaswamy, I have a lot of regard and respect for such teachers. They all motivated me to join BCom. They said, no, you have to be in this college. You should not leave this college. That's something which really thrilled me. So I decided, I told my father, okay, no engineering, I will join BCom. That's really now after BCom only all these finance related. That's my destiny maybe. So
okay. After this, you have done your chartered accountancy course.
Yes.
Now, and then from where?
No, after my BCom, in fact, even those 3 years, a lot of prizes. In the third year, almost 15 prizes I won in all the competitions. So I was sort of the best outgoing student. Then we moved on to Chennai for my CA. Actually, the first time I came to a major city in my life was for my CA. And it was a very tough course. No, like these days, there was no for chartered accountancy course, there was no payment by the seniors. Apprenticeship fee, all that were not there those days. So it was very tough to even pursue that course also. And because of though it was the first time I moved to a major city without any distraction, I could concentrate with a lot of dedication to studies. I got all India rank actually in chartered accountancy. And chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretary, these are the three even today leading finance courses in the country. And all these three professional courses I almost completed simultaneously. Even before I was 23, after my BCom from Wanimabadi Islamia College, along with this CA, ISW, ACS, in 1980 beginning itself, I was equipped with all these qualifications with me. So then offers started coming to me from different places. For a brief period, I joined Chauvelers, and then I was with the Ponds India for some time. And then I got this offer from ICICI Limited, the parent company of ICICI Bank, which was a financial institution, national financial institution, which was for World Bank loan in India. ICICI Limited was the nodal point. It was my luck. It was my fortune. I joined this.
And what was the scope of work? Because you are not in the bank directly. You are in the ICICI Limited. So
Correct, correct.
what is the difference? Can you just explain what
Yes,
was?
sure. ICICI Limited, those days in 1980, when I joined ICICI Limited, it was one sort of banks like State Bank of India and many nationalized banks. And other part was this financial institutions. Financial institutions like ICICI Limited, IDBI, IFCI, LIC, UTI, GAC, these institutions were meant for long-term funding, long-term project financing, whereas banks were meant for short-term funding like working capital. That demarcation was very clear. Now there is nothing like that. There is no financial institution as such. ICICI Limited is not there. Only ICICI Bank is there. IDBI also bank is there. IFCI not so very active. So mostly it is banks, and now banks take care of project financing and commercial lending. Both are taken care of by banks. Whereas those days it was, and I had the opportunity of project financing exposure more than 700, 800 projects I would have done in 17 years. I was with ICICI Limited 17 years, and I reached a very senior level position. And I was one of the key persons, one of the senior management team persons when ICICI Bank was promoted in 1995. So 17 solid years from 80 to 97, I was there. 97, I took VRS because I had a thirst, desire to set up my own management consultancy. So I fortunately VRS came at that time, and the first VRS I took VRS, and then I was ready during my leaving time to set up my management consulting.
Hey, but you have joined one company.
Exactly. That is what really happened. Again, within a week, less than a week, in 5 days' time, February 28th, 1997, I left ICICI. March 5th, 1997, I was the CFO of Cognizant. All that was not planned before. It so happened that when it was known that I left ICICI, Cognizant, they asked me whether I can join them as the CFO. All interviews, everything, even at the chairman level of Cognizant from US, who had been to Chennai for some other meeting, he had interviewed me, the president interviewed me. All happened in less than 5 days, and the 5th day I joined Cognizant. So I was the CFO for 3 years there. During those 3 years, and even in ICICI, I had excellent exposure. I was heading accounts for Southern India. I was all along in Southern India, foreign exchange, entire Southern India foreign exchange functions. I was heading accounts, finance, project, resources, MIS, then systems. So many functions I was handling in ICICI. That gave me tremendous exposure. Then I joined Cognizant as the CFO, the first CFO of Indian operations. And then because before my joining, it was Dun & Bradstreet Satyam Software. I was instrumental in initially formalizing it as Cognizant India, which is a huge MNC, multinational software company now. And many offices like Calcutta office, Bangalore office, many offices of Cognizant, I was instrumental in playing a major role in setting up those operations. Stock option of Indian stock option, American stock option, I was the key person. So I was very happy. I played a major role. But again, that thirst for setting up my own organization was still continuing. So I left with a heavy heart Cognizant also in 99, in 3 years. Then from 99 onwards, so the first 22 years of my studies, next 22 years of my employment, ICICI and Cognizant. Then the next 20 years now is my self-employment. This self-employment is again a wonderful story by itself. So can I continue?
Yeah, please share with us, because
Okay.
it's a very interesting what you are saying, that you have reached on such a top position, but still
Correct.
you were thirsty and you want to quench your thirst by doing
Yes.
your own self-employment.
Exactly.
Yes, please.
And no regrets at any point of time. No regrets. When I left ICICI, in fact, they didn't leave me that easily. When I took VRS, I was asked to continue. I gave an assurance to them that, and definitely it's not a wrong decision. They also gave me an assurance whenever I want, I can get back. Like that, Cognizant also, no regrets. of leaving.
How difficult it was this decision to leave these companies, organizations?
Frankly, it's a wonderful question. Wonderful question. The decision, yes, it is a tough decision. It was a tough decision, but I will not call it a difficult decision because I had my roadmap very clear in my mind. I was very clear because I am a self-made person. I have seen challenges in my life, and nothing more can be more challenging in life because I have seen so many challenges even for. My CA also, because my father, though I didn't explain it elaborately, my father was so social minded. I'm very happy about it. Even if he has some money, he will only spend it for some poor children for their education like that. So for my CA also, for my paying my CA fees also at one point of time, I had to even borrow from somebody to pay my fees. So that was the sort of situation we have come. So I was ready for anything. I have seen the best part of life and worst part of life also. And when I took this decision, it was a tough decision, but I was very sure that definitely God will be with me. And with my good
Then how was the road ahead when you have started your
yes. Yes,
self-employment?
yes. And 99 end, I left Cognizant. It took 2 months for them to relieve me. Then I got relieved. I set up my consulting company, Janhar Management Consultancy Private Limited, and also my audit wing. Both were there. But I thought immediately after leaving my chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretary, professional qualifications, with my experience of handling 1,000+ projects, all that are not sufficient. I should do something more. Some specialization has to be there. Then I decided in 2006, in 5 6 years, I did a lot of homework. I was doing my consulting. I was very active in my consulting, very busy. I was even doing a lot of international consulting, excellent project management advisory. I was doing venture capital financing, and then private equity financing, advisory, board advisory, internal restructuring, all that I was doing. But still, I was thinking that something was missing. Then I decided to do my PhD at the age of 49. I enrolled for PhD in 2006. 2010. I completed my PhD at the age of 53. I completed, correct, 49. So I 53 when I was 53 years. I completed my PhD, and the topic what I selected was mergers and acquisition, one of the difficult subjects. And I was one of the very few persons in India with CA, ISSS, ACS, and PhD on a topic like this at that point of time. And because I did PhD, that gave me a lot of further openings, because I was interested in teaching right from the beginning. I was also doing a little bit of teaching because of this PhD, because of my exposure to industry, because of my experience in project financing, various other types of corporate finance exposure, and the consulting. Also, I was representing all India financial institutions even in my ICICI days, like ICICI, IDBI, IFCI, LIC, UTI, GIC, all institutions put together. There will be one nominee director for the companies in which they have funded. I was nominee director in the board of a company where toppers were there, were Tatas were there, were Birlas were there. So like that, I had that board level exposure also. So with all that, with my PhD, there were invitations from IIMs, IITs to teach. And I started teaching last 7 8 years, almost last 1 decade. Now I'm a professor for IIM Bangalore, IIM Trichy, IIM Kozhikode, Goa Institute of Management, Great Lake Institute, then IFMR last 10 years, which is now a Kriya University, and lot of corporate finance subjects I have been teaching. I would have written more than 500 articles for professional journals. I am a regular resource person, chairman, resource person for many national and international programs. I chair a lot of programs nationally, internationally. I have clients world over now in different countries. I have clients. I give my management consultancy. I was even lucky to be the in the selection panel of finance professor for IIM Trichy. So I did not even imagine that even teaching itself is an honor, and selecting a professor for IIM, finance professor for IIM, that's something which gave me the fullest satisfaction. Oh, all my qualification, all my hard work in my younger days, the efforts what I had put in, the dedication, the hard work, the sincerity, that really started rewarding. Now I teach some of the toughest subjects for IIM, like business valuation, mergers and acquisition, working capital management, corporate finance, like that. And I have my audit wing, Gopal and Associates. I have my management consultancy and advisory. We are advisors for many companies. And I was in the board of Madras University and for commerce and the corporate secretary to revise the entire syllabus for all the courses of commerce. Now I am in the board of many universities and deemed universities contributing towards this. IGNU for the distance education, they consulted me for something. So like that in the field of education, in the field of consulting, in the field of auditing, in the field of finance, in the field of advisory, also a board member, audit committee chairman, committee member in different boards. But in spite of all that, I feel that I am only 20% occupied. I feel that I can even do much more than what I am doing now. That hunger for doing more and more is only increasing day by day. So this is what exactly I want to tell youngsters.
So see, Dr. Gopalan, your hunger is still there. But during this journey, because you have seen that different phases. The first phase was when you were working with the ICICI Limited. Second, when you were working for the company Congens, it's also a very big company. But now you are working as a self-employed and later on as a visiting professors to the many top institutions.
Correct.
What difference you found in all these things if you revisit your life? You have any regrets that I have left that thing that there I was having much more relaxation, or in other words, I will ask, what are the views of your family, whether they are happy now or they were happy, especially your wife, they were happy when you were in the that type of cozy services?
My wife, Mrs. Jayanti, my children, Janani, Sriram, Harini, Srivatsan, all are very happy every day. No regrets. They are with me. They are very happy. And there is no regret, not even a moment there is any regret. They are all happy because I have not faced any problems, touch wood, till date. It is I enjoy. Maybe if your question is whether I was earning more at that point of time, whether I earning less, I can even for that also, if I want to earn much more than what I was earning before, I can do that. I have done it. Even in my consulting, I have earned much more than what I was earning.
Now here I just want to know, as you mentioned that your father was very charitable and he always do for the others. You also got that quality. Have you done any type of works?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. In fact, I am very, very particular that very shortly, even yesterday, I was discussing with a couple of my friends. This is known to my family. I will be doing getting into sort of this sort of charity organizations, and then on my own also. So I want to play a major part of my remaining life in helping others in whatever way possible.
Okay.
So,
in the last, we would like to know from you your message to the young generation or the youth.
There is this SWOT analysis also now called as SCOT analysis. There is no weaknesses or anything. There's only challenges. Life, you will face a lot of challenges, but challenges are opportunities. So don't succumb to challenges. Face them boldly. You will turn out to be an excellent product. That's what I told my children, and they are doing very well. My first daughter is in US. She's a doctorate. And second daughter, like me, she's a chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, everything. This is what I tell all my friends and other relatives. Yeah, there is in challenges only you will get the best out of you. So my message to the youngsters is the future is always brighter. You have to face challenges. You have to take bold decisions in life. Don't get stuck anywhere. If you are stuck, definitely be confident that you will get out of it. So this is the message.
Thank you very much, CA Gopalan. Actually, we want to know many more things from you, and it's a spellbound that I was my mouth was shut because I cannot ask any question. You are so through. And one more thing which I just want to say, you have received the Indian Achievers Award. That is a very, very big achievement. Congratulations to you
Thank you.
for
Thank
this.
you so much.
And
Thank you.
so today, viewers, you have seen how a person from such a small background where there was no electricity, the school was in the night used as a cow sheds, and the morning again in school, struggled and reached, and I was studying in the lamp shade, a lamp post of the, and then he reached on the top. This is called the achievements. They are the real achievers, and we have to learn from them, and especially the youth, the young generation. And today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic in the morning edition of our media conference with Lal Goyal. And tomorrow at that too at 10:30 a.m. And tomorrow our media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. The topic is petrol prices. As you all know, the petrol prices are increasing day by day. And our panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, One-Man Expert Commission on Labour, Government of India, Ms. Vinita Hariharan, Chief of Programs, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, Ms. Nujat Jahan EK, National Vice President, Republican Party of India, Athaule, International Human Rights Commission General, Calicut, and Mr. PKD Nambiar, Marketing Strategist and Political Analyst, Managing Director and CEO, Flags Communication, Chairman at B Square Group, New Delhi. So please tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. for media conference with Lal Goyal. Thank you very much, Dr. C. A. Gopalan, for joining and giving you the details of your life story. And we wish you all the best, and we want that you achieve more and more glory in your future life. Thank you very much.